Well, Brian, as we're moving into the weekend, it's going to feel a little bit more like summertime, but that won't necessarily be the case today. Still, we'll have temperatures close to seasonal averages, but for this weekend, there will be plenty of warmth to go around, and that's part of your warmth. That's part of your there for you headlines, which includes that warming trend. We'll be staying mostly on the dry side. We're also keeping the haze around from the wildfire smoke, but into the middle stages of next week, we could be in store for a pattern change, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But we'll start off with this view from Park City Mountain, and if you look closely, this is an incredible view. Not only do you have the bright twinkling stars above the mountain, but you also have the fall colors really showing up below. That is just a beautiful view here on this early Friday morning. On the satellite and radar with the bigger picture, there's barely a cloud in the sky this morning. The low pressure that we were talking about yesterday has since moved down to our south, so that is taking its cloud coverage and the moisture with it. So for today, we're going to get mostly sunny skies across the state. Unfortunately, there's still going to be some lingering smoke, even though that low pressure has since moved away with that northerly flow. So we're going to keep the hazy conditions around, and as we go into tomorrow with more of a westerly flow, that's going to help transport more smoke our way, but we'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. But temperature-wise for this afternoon, temperatures close to seasonal averages in Salt Lake City with a daytime high of 78 degrees. Going to be a beautiful fall day, 79 degrees in Price, 88 degrees in Moab, 79 degrees down in Cedar City, and a daytime high of 92 degrees down in St. George. But for a beautiful day, we'll also have a pretty nice night. And if you're going to see some Friday night football, maybe going out for a Friday night dinner instead, temperature at 7 o'clock will be around 75 degrees. And by 10, 11 o'clock, temperatures will be dropping into the middle 60s. So we'll begin watching your weather for you at 8 o'clock this evening. And as we go through today, again, temperatures are going to be at or just slightly above seasonal averages. But we're going to be looking at mostly dry skies. Not many changes heading into our Saturday with more of a westerly component to our wind, which will help drag in a little bit more moisture, maybe a little bit of cloud coverage down south. But overall, any rain chance looks like it's going to be staying well into Arizona. But as we go into Sunday, a little bit more of a southwesterly flow could help drag just a little bit of moisture into the southernmost part of Utah. We'll add a small rain chance mainly for the higher terrain in the southern half of the state. Meanwhile, for the central and northern half, it's going to continue with the dry skies, and those temperatures likely going to be in the middle 80s for daytime highs. So you'll have that little bit of a summer-like feel by the time we get towards the end of the weekend. But your national parks forecast over the next few days, temperatures are going to stay relatively consistent. But again, we'll add a small rain chance by the time we get into Sunday for some of those higher terrain spots in the southernmost part of the state. As for St. George, a daytime high of 92 degrees, hazy conditions in lower to middle 90s will carry us through the weekend into the early stages of next week, but cooler conditions look like they're on the way for Wednesday and Thursday, with daytime highs dialing back to the 80s. Along the Wasatch Front, close to seasonal today, breezy and a little bit of haze out there. Lower to middle 80s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with a mostly sunny sky, but then a front looks like it'll be approaching us as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. Add a small rain chance, and those daytime highs could go back into the 60s. We could see some pretty big changes into the middle of next week, but we'll make sure we continue to keep you posted on that, and we'll keep on watching the models for you.